Welcome to the final stream of 2020 on the Football Terrace. I'm very excited about this one. I'm very excited indeed. We're picking the 2020 calendar team of the year, the Football Terrace's team of 2020. I'm joined by Jem. I'm joined by Gal. Maybe some more of the panelists will be along a little bit later. They must all be out partying for New Year's Eve or something. I don't know where they all are, what they're all doing, but they do have their own lives. They're not here for our beck and call. There's a lot of weirdness here. People saying 2021. I don't really get what you're all doing and talking about in the comments, but there we go. We are going to be debating and thrashing out, and you are going to be getting involved in picking this team of the year. Super chats prevail. So tonight is a bidding system. If you want a player to remain in the team or be added into the team, you can select a particular amount of money, anything you want to keep and put a player into a position. The only way then the audience can remove them is by outbidding you. So if you put £1 in to put Harry Kane into the team, it's going to cost more than £1 for a viewer to take him out. In relation to that, myself, Igal, and Jem, we get to have a trump card pick, which cannot be moved unless somebody bids over £20 from the viewers. But apart from that, and that's because we want to respect you all massively in terms of the amazing super chat donations that you put in. And the really important element of that is how massively it supports the Football Terrace as a channel and as a community. So I'm going to actually what we'll do before we get the panel on, I want you to smash the like button, but I want to go here and show you the team of the year as it's currently being selected with Ellison in goal. The fullbacks are Trent and Robertson. Centre-backs of Van der Gaard and Virgil Van Dyke. The midfield of Bruno, Fabinho, and KDB. And a front three of Mo Salah, Harry Kane, and Marcus Rashford occupying the 11 positions available. We will also be doing a Young Player of the Year award later. There are only 4 players that can win that. And it's down to you, the viewers, to pick who you want to win between Phil Foden, Mason Greenwood, Saka, and of course, Mason Mount. So they're all available. And it's up to you who else you want to put in and who else you think deserves to be in this. If they're not on the list you see on the screen below of the non-selected players, you can ask us to add them in. That's entirely up to you. But make sure you're smashing the like button and you're hitting the share button as well. Very important that you get this done. A nice little bit of entertainment for your New Year's Eve. I know most of you all around the world are going to be staying in, etc., etc., etc. But make sure you're smashing the like button. Let's get the panelists involved as well now. We're going to get them in. We're going to get man like Igal. We're going to get man like Jem in the house. Boys, how you doing?
Doing
Not bad,
well.
bro. Not bad.
Good, chilling.
Chilling, drinking. That's what we're doing.
Absolutely, but I'm going to be doing it. Do you know what? As soon as I'm done on this show, I'm going to have a little drink. And I'm going to have a nice shower. I'm going to have a shave.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a shirt on, have a drink, and sit in my house. Do you know what I mean? I want to get. I'm even going to put a skinny jeans on, nice pair of boots. You know what I mean? Nice red desert boots. I'm going to dress up and then sit down and watch EastEnders, bro. That's going to be mine.
The only good thing about it today, time zone, I can watch the basketball while it's New Year's.
There we go. I don't know much about basketball.
Nor do I. Don't know.
No, I played it at school. I was really good up until a certain point, and then I didn't get any taller. And it was like, yeah, Terry. I was like that with rugby. I was a really good rugby player, and then between 9 and 11, I was too small. And the irony is that a lot of them lads now, muscular-wise, I'm bigger than. I just had that school.
Yeah.
You're a fighter, right? So
yeah, and that's why my weight stayed where it was, because I was in a particular weight category and height category. So I just trained hard to stay in it, and then I put the weight on afterwards. But there we go. Really, really excited to crack on with this and move things forward. And where do you guys want to start with this? Because the team's already picked. I mean, what's your first thoughts when you look and see that team?
let's work our way down.
Let's work our way down. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's start with the goalkeeper then. So when it comes to being in goal,
I have a shout.
who would you put in instead of Alisson?
I would put Martinez for his heroics at the back end of the Arsenal season and the beginning of this season for Aston Villa. I feel like he has shown clean sheets wise. Statistically, he goes up there with Alisson, and I would say that he has been one of the best goalkeepers in the league in 2020. From the moment that Leno got injured, he came in and he's shown that he was levels above Leno, and he's shown that at Aston Villa, he's up there with the top goalkeepers in the league.
What's your thoughts on that, Jim? I mean, he did have heroics. I mean, some of the saves in the back end of last, and we're talking all comps here. It isn't just Premier League performances, but in all competitions last year, like he was putting out save after. He had a great run towards the end.
There's no way you can go against Alisson in my eyes. I think he has been the best. Martinez is a good shout. The only other one I was thinking of, and he probably won't make it in there, is Nick Pope. And the only reason I say Nick Pope is because at the end of the last season, he had the second highest clean sheets of a goalkeeper. Second to Alisson. So it was Alisson first, then it was Nick Pope, and then it was Ederson. He actually had a very good season for.
Well, actually, last season in the Premier League, Ederson had the most clean sheets.
Oh, was it Ederson? That's it.
And it was Nick Pope on 15, then, 13. Alisson was on 13, but Alisson played a lot less games because of injury. Yeah. I mean, Nick Pope's a great shout as well because Nick Pope had such a quality season. And you got to imagine Nick, I think that, you know, the shout for Nick Pope that I like? He's in a team that gets attacked a lot more.
Constantly, yeah.
Constantly being bombarded. He's constantly having to make saves. Like, for Ederson and Alisson, it's a little bit easier to get clean sheets, in my opinion, because you have a world-class team in front of you.
That's why I said him. But then I wouldn't argue with Alisson as well, because he's been awesome.
Then Burnley's whole system is to basically usher their shots to come from distance. So he has it's different from our shots, where majority of the top 6 teams, a lot of the shot opportunities these teams get on us are also from like close range, because they try to go for set piece goals, or a lot of their goals come from cutbacks. You don't really see as much of a plethora of shots as he would. So
I think you do, Miguel.
I feel like his saves would be a lot of pop shots.
No, it's not.
No, I see the other way.
I disagree.
I see it the other way around. I think I think Burnley have a lot more attempts at goal from inside the box than a Liverpool. They must have more than a Liverpool do. I mean, last season Nick Pope pulled off 120 saves, right? In conjunction to that, Alisson pulled off just 58 saves, and Ederson 68 saves.
It says it all, doesn't it?
You're talking about a man who had to pull off double the volume of saves and still got the same amount of clean sheets. That's astronomical, is it not?
I agree. I think that's why you could potentially put him ahead of Alisson, only because of that. Do you know what I mean? And basing it that he was at Burnley as well. So for me, I'd probably say Nick Pope. Now we're thinking about it more. What do you think, Edgar?
I still think Martinez, based on, I think if you looked at since he came in, if there was a statistic for that, you just
want an Arsenal player on there. Just admit it.
No, he's not even an Arsenal player. He's an Aston Villa player. And so at this point, I would say I'm still torn, but I would say I would stick with the Aston Villa guy.
What do you think, Terry? It's tough one, isn't it?
I mean, Martinez has got the most clean sheets this season in the Premier League as well. And again, that's at Aston Villa. To do that at Villa, again, I think it's much harder than at Liverpool, much harder than at the Man City or even Manchester United in relation to doing that. So I actually, what I'm going to do, and of course the viewers can get their super chat bids in, there's no problem with that whatsoever. I'm going to remove Alisson for now, and I'm going to let the viewers decide with their super chats between, they can either put Alisson back in, they can put Ederson in if they want, they can put Lloris in if they want, but Nick Pope or Martinez, I'm going to leave him there for a bit and see what people say. We can come back to that a little bit later. I think both are great shouts, and it would be, do you know what, it would be nice to have a team of the year. I mean, we've got Van der Gaard in there. I'm not sure if he's going to stay in a little bit later, but it's nice to see some players outside of the sort of traditional big clubs get a shout. But in relation to fullbacks, I went with Trent at right back and Robertson at left back. And I know people think of Lucadinha, they think of Reece James as examples. There are, you know, maybe a few others out there. Ricardo, I mean, can anybody actually touch or get anywhere near Trent Alexander-Arnold for best right back of the entire 2020 league year?
I want to say no. I don't think there's even, I mean, I'd love to see Reece James in there, but I just think he's been awesome this year, and you have to take your hat off to him. Like, what they've done, what they've both done in my eyes with Liverpool has been immense this year. It's going to be hard to pick otherwise, I think.
I was going to say he is almost a right midfielder and a right back and a right winger, the way he plays. So it's like he gets into positions and opportunities that he creates for his team. He's dominating the pitch from that whole right flank, and it's just impressive to see. And as an academy kid coming in from Liverpool's academy, graduating, and now possibly could be their future captain. Taking all those things aside, when you look at the stats, the performances, I don't think there's anybody that comes close to him in that right back position in the league and in world football. He's probably the best right back in the world, and second to Dani Alves in my lifetime, seeing statistically putting up those numbers from a right back position.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
He's astronomical. And I think for me, when I think about Trent, look, of course, we've got AWB at Manchester United, who's brilliant. You've had Lamptey coming through, who's an excellent player. Reece James, I think he's had a really good start to this campaign in particular. But unless one of the viewers wants to disagree with this, I can't look beyond Trent Alexander-Arnold as the best. I didn't even think hard about it. No. It was just a natural thing. Now, by the end of this season, that may change. I mean, I don't think Trent's best start to this year. I don't think he's been as good as he normally is at the start of this season. You know, and if Reece James had a couple of dodgy games recently, but if he continues in that same vein, maybe when we come to doing the 21 team of the year or the 2020-21 campaign team of the year, it may change. But I think he's pretty much cemented in there unless a viewer changes their mind. There has been a super chat, actually. This super chat here says, if you dare put this team together without Jack Grealish, the whole thing is null and void. We haven't got to the midfield yet. I'm happy to move Jack Grealish in and put him up onto that area right now. You put a bid in. I'm taking out KDB because he plays on the same side as KDB of that midfield. So if anybody wants Jack Grealish out of this team of the year, it's going to cost you more than £5. It's as simple and it's as straightforward as that. We're going to add Ram to the mix here as well. I want to move on to left back. I think we've kind of decided pretty much on the right back situation. It has to be Robertson as well, doesn't it?
No, there's actually an argument for more of a case against Robertson than there is for Trent, because Robertson was spotty at best near the back end of last season, where Trent, you could say he's numbers, at least statistically, put up numbers at the back end of last season, where Robertson was struggling on the back end of last season. And you could have a case for Luca Digne here, where Luca Digne was a big part of their resurgence under Ancelotti. At the beginning of this season, he was integral to a lot of those goals from set pieces and from corners and from crossing in from the left-hand side. I would say Luca Digne has a shout at left back, where for Trent it's nailed on.
I'm going to stay with Gal for a minute. When you say a shout, you tell me why you think that. Tells me you think Luca Digne should be there. So why is Luca Digne in front of Robertson for the whole of 2020, in your opinion?
Because a lot of Robertson, what he did was from the back end of the season before, 2019 year. What he did in 2020, from the beginning of 2020 until now, I have not seen from him specifically the same output level that I've seen from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yes, he is putting in numbers. Yes, he is putting in numbers, but you also have to factor in Luca Digne is at Everton. Everton was a relegation candidate at a certain point before they got Ancelotti and everything resurgent. So I'm also judging him not only on where he is supposed to be rated, but he has a higher rating and level where he should be in comparison to Luca Digne. If I compare them evenly, obviously Robertson has better numbers, but when you look at it subjectively, what Luca Digne has done is heroic in comparison to what Robertson's done.
He's also inconsistent. He's inconsistent again.
Can I just quickly say, look, I'm a massive fan of Luca Digne. It just goes to show that French national team has got a conveyor belt of world-class players. I wouldn't say he's world-class, but he's definitely a really, really good player. On your point on this season, the guy's had injuries and got a red card and was suspended for 3 games. Like your point on him being one of the most integral pieces. Yeah, for the first 2 games, and then afterwards he wasn't playing. So that's completely nullifies that point. And on the point of Robbie, Robertson the mistake that I can remember was against Arsenal. He gave it to Willian. Willian scored, but the guy has that mentality of just going up the other end and scoring the goal that equalizes the game. Robertson, I think, all got the lead. Robertson has been our most consistent player this season and the whole year, and I think he's arguably the best left back in the world, let alone the Premier League.
Can I just shout out Ben Chilwell? Because if you're going to throw Lucas Digne in there, I know this is going to be like I'm putting my Chelsea hat on right now, but when he was at Leicester last season, they were third in Premier League going up to the end of last season. He got injured and then they fell out of that position. Going into this season for Chelsea, he's been nothing but awesome for me. He's the one that's been, for me, as close to Robertson than any others. Like, he's been the most informed person for me. So if you're going to put Lucas Digne in it, Ben Chilwell.
Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, Ben
Yeah,
Chilwell,
yeah.
Lucas
If you're going
On
to
your
put Lucas Digne in there, then you've got to throw Ben Chilwell in there for me
You
because
might
look
as
what he's
well
done for
throw
the
Tierney in
On your
too.
point-
Come on.
No.
No, but on your
why?
point, Jam, Luca Digne and Ben Chilwell equally had a really good 2020. And I think Robertson has just elevated.
Yeah, but
above
Ram,
him.
one team was in the Champions League position. He got injured. As he dropped out, they lost their position. I'm not saying it's because of him. They dropped out of it.
I'm agreeing with you.
He's then came to Chelsea and then performed. I think was at the beginning of the season. It was better than Robertson on this basis of this season. Only up till now, he's been a little bit here and there. But other than that, I think Chilwell's been good. I think he's got a shout as well.
I agree with you. I think him and Luca Digne both had a terrific year this year. They're both. If you're going to bring up Luca Digne, you have to bring up Ben Chilwell. But for me, Robertson's been the most consistent out of all the left backs in this league, and he's been in that left back position for Liverpool for the whole year. Hasn't got injured that much as well, which is a benefit for us.
Yeah, I can't argue with Robertson at the end of the day. For 2020, he has done so much for them. It's so for me, it's between. I think it's Robertson, but if you're going to put Digne in there, you've got to put Chilwell in there. In my eyes.
How are we judging this? Are we judging this based on statistics, performances, or are we judging it based on trophies in this season?
I think it's a bit of both. If I'm being absolutely honest with you, I mean, what's interesting now, what I'm looking at is the statistics between Ben Chilwell, Dean, and Robertson. So, looking at sort of games played, minutes played, like we do it. I like doing it per 90 because I think per 90 gives you a better. If you look at this season. You got. I can't share it on the screen because I'm sharing this one here, but like chances created per game: Robertson 1.9, Luca Digne 2.1, Ben Chilwell 1.5. You've got crossing accuracy. This is interesting. Robertson's crossing accuracy is 21%. Luca Digne's nearly 30%. Ben Chilwell 24%. And then you've got the defensive element. So aerial duel success, only 48% of aerial duels contested by Robertson. He wins 71%. Luca Digne 61%. Chilwell. Ground duels, defensive duel successes. This is interesting that Robertson's at 44, Luca Digne is at 44, Chilwell's at 61%. Clearances, only 1.8 per game for Robertson, but 3.1 and 2 per game for Ben Chilwell, respectively. Interceptions, both Luca Digne and Chilwell are almost double the level of Robertson. So statistically, this season, they're there.
Yeah.
So it's an in chances created per. It's there. Maybe it's one of them things for me. Robertson for me is my guy. I would put him up there. We've got a few super chats to jump into first. We're gonna let the viewers decide. Ryan says, just for the goalkeeper argument, pros have said it's much harder to stay concentrated when you have less saves, and it's harder than saving lots more. Let me just finish these super chats and you can have your say, mate.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't mind putting someone in that position, Ryan Black. You put a lovely super chat in, but you haven't really told us who you want to move into a position, and you can outbid someone and move people up there. We had another super chat, which I can't put up on the screen because I left it a little bit too late, that says all Reece James does, and the stats show it, is spam crosses into the same teeny quadrant on the right-hand side of the pitch. Trent contributes more than just passing, is what Max has said. And Ryan has come up with another super chat and said, Gal, come on, I watch Liverpool week in, week out. Robbo is way more consistent than Trent. And that's an interesting point of view. I mean, viewers, so what I'm going to do, based on what's being said, I am going to put Luca Digne into the fullback equation here and leave him in that position. We might visit Ben Chilwell later. Viewers, you can get your bids in now. You can bid whatever you want to secure any one of those three players into those fullback positions. You don't just have to use stats. You can use stats. You can use your eye test. You can use whatever you want, but get that done now. We're going to move on to centre-backs. Are we all in agreement that Virgil van Dyke has to be in this?
I don't know, I'm a bit up in the air with that. You've only got to look at how he performed in the second end of the season, and they were leaking goals with him. I know he's been injured this season and he's not been in the game, but at the end of the day, he's still been injured. Like, for me, it's hard. If we're basing it on 2020, what has Virgil van Dijk actually done, Ram?
I mean,
he's conceded. You guys have conceded a lot more goals at the end of the last season. You know that yourself. A lot more. You were losing games. You were drawing games. And going into this season, he wasn't at his. Even when he was playing, he still wasn't at your greatest. You know what I mean? Then he got that big injury and he's out. Is there not a chance that maybe he ain't actually going to be in the 2020 team? What do you think?
Well, it's a good shout, but I think that period from January to March, I don't know how many goals I think he conceded around 5 or 6 goals that period. And this was our strongest period. But look, Van Dijk hasn't been at that level that we saw in 2018-19, where he was just absolutely head and shoulders above everyone else. But he's still at that level where you could say he's had a better year than all the other defenders in the world in the Premier League.
Well, can I just say something? And this is going to sound obscene. I know the viewers are probably going to go mad about it, but Harry Maguire in the second end of last season, I'm sure, was it not Man United that conceded the one of the most least goals in total? And then going into this season, Man United are on form at the moment as well. And yes, they conceded goals against Tottenham, but if you look, they're still overly performing as a team going forward. Like, has Harry Maguire got a shout? Because for me, like, I don't think Virgil Van Dijk's been that great if you base it on a 2020 year. I think Maguire's got a shout, you know.
So what you're saying, I want to make sure I'm hearing you right here. Do you kind of get the sense that Van Dijk's living in the year of 2020 as standalone? Van Dijk's living off of his reputation as opposed to his actual performances and everything else?
I think so. I think I might be wrong. I don't know if the stats are going again. I mean, unless the stats can prove otherwise, I don't know. I think he's been a lot.
You have to look.
I would take him out in that case.
Yeah.
I think. Let me say something, Ram. I think if you were to look at 2020 by itself, in the players who've had impacts based on the biggest impacts on their team, I would say at center back would be Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans in the Premier League in 2020.
Johnny Evans.
So I wouldn't even put Ciancio in there. I would say Johnny Evans as the leader, as the captain of that defense, and I would also say Harry Maguire coming into a defense that was leaking goals left, right, center. And you said it yourself, as much as we make fun of him, he's come into that team and he's made your team better.
Stabilized them.
But Miguel, you touched on a point about Evans, about leadership and all that. Van Dijk has been leading this back line for the whole year, and even though we've conceded goals, but his organization skills for both Trent and Robertson, because they go marauding forward, and also for Joe Gomez as well, you have to take that into account as well. You know, like,
I think it should be
organization of the defensive back line is incredible.
Let me respond.
Go on, Miguel.
Jim, let me respond. I rate Van Dijk. I think he's one of the best center backs in the world. But to me, you have to look at what we're actually rating here. We're rating the best 20 players in 2020. We're not saying the best players in the world based on ability. Okay? So when you take that into a factor, in my opinion, the two players who stand out this year, 2020, as for center back position are Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans. And the reason why I say that over Van Dijk is because if you want to just put the best 11 in the world, put the whole 11 of Liverpool. But that's not what we're doing. You can't have every single player as a Liverpool player. It's not Liverpool's the best team in 2020. Yes. Well, but the reason why they're the best team in 2020 is because they have other pieces around them that were also great, that raised the levels of the whole team.
On the overall team. So in the year of 2020, Liverpool in the Premier League have conceded 39 goals. Man United have conceded 36 goals.
Well, you know, okay, it's not a massive difference, but
I think people think because Van Dijk's levels has dropped, they think is a massive drop, but no, it's not a massive drop. He's still at that top level. You have to still remember he's still probably arguably top 2 defenders in the world. And
I think
he's been doing it throughout 2020. He's been incredible this year. It's as simple as that.
I think Harry Maguire has helped stabilise that. And I know people moan about his positioning and some of the goals at the back and whatever. And I think he's heavily targeted, in my eyes, purely because he's English and he's an English footballer. But for me, at the end of the day, I think Harry Maguire's helped stabilise that back a lot more than we actually give him credit for. And I don't think he deserves all the criticism that he gets from his own fans and from rival fans.
Let me just say... Sorry.
Go on, Terry, go on.
I hear what you're... Do you know what's interesting for me? I would move Van Dijk back because I do think he's been one of the best. You make a great case for Harry Maguire. And do you know what's interesting with him? How do I put this? The over-analyzing. I've seen some punditry and some of the analyzing on Harry Maguire has been beyond keyhole surgery. It's sort of it's like doing it's been so microscopic it's the equivalent of doing open heart surgery on a flea. That's how small it's been. I remember Lindelof getting beat in the air for a header when he was challenging a Hobbit. Yeah. And there was a bit of a gap between the two centre-backs. But it was in every other version of this goal being conceded by a team where a little 5'0" guy beats a 6'+ guy for a header in the box. We always blame the high or just outside the box. We always blame the guy that lost the header to the little one. On this one, it was actually if Van Dyke, if Maguire was leading better, was an extra foot or two closer, this would have happened, and it would have. And it was like, hang on a minute, I've never seen that. Maguire had nothing to do with conceding a goal towards the end of last season, and he was pushing AWB in the back, trying to get to a ball and realized he weren't going to get there. And it was the marking his own defender nonsense. There was the element of the ball got played behind him. He couldn't get to it, but he looked in the other direction to see what was going on as it happened. And it got turned into the no-look defending. The meme and the level of, as I say, the open heart surgery on a flea that's done for Maguire's play is like nothing I have ever seen before in a centre-back. And my view is if he only cost £40 million, which isn't his fault, he'd be being raved about. It's because he costs 80 million that people want to look for a reason to ridicule it. The same as Pepe at Arsenal. If Pepe was a 25 million pound player, nobody would care that he hasn't been very good. It's purely the money that exasperates it further and makes it banter. So I'm gonna keep Harry Maguire in. We have a super chat here from Phil that wants to. He basically says, "God, I need on this panel." Virgil Van Dyke is legendary. Maguire is a fool. Jem needs to go back to Sesame Street and find Ernie. Ridiculous. Put Virgil Van Dyke back. Virgil Van Dyke's going back in. I'm going to take Vestergaard out for now.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
And leave it there. And I think that's fair, to be fair. And
that's like what I would have said.
Like I said to a lot of people, like, do you know what it is with Maguire? Maguire's had made some mistakes in 2020. Of course he has. If you think back to the start of this season, he could have worked a bit harder to stop the cross coming in for the first goal for Crystal Palace. He could have, I don't know what he was doing with Luke Shaw that led to the equaliser for Liverpool, for Tottenham when we got beat 6-1. And he was awful in those games. The no-look defending, the marking his own defender, these were mistakes. They're not mistakes. If you actually watch footage of most boxes, there's always players pulling people around and doing stuff like that. Nothing he did in those moments were the reason that Man United conceded. There are times where he's in the right position and then a wonderful ball's crossed in. I've seen fullbacks out of position and we've conceded goals and people have been like, nah, Maguire should have been 3 yards further back. What? I'm playing everybody else on side. Like the level of scrutiny that he gets is mad. And of course he's been accountable for some goals going in. But so's Van der Gaard. So's Zuma. So's Van Dyke in this. Like if you actually analyze all the goals teams concede, you can find mistakes even in chances that are missed. You can find mistakes in all defenders. What we're acting like now in football is that the Van Dykes and the Zumas, the Vestergaards, the Tobys, these guys are defending and making 0 mistakes per game. But for whatever reason, Maguire's making exponentially more mistakes and errors than everybody else. And when you break it down statistically, and I'm very lucky to have access to Y-Scout, because when you use Y-Scout, every stat is labeled. But with every stat, there's the video footage that backs it up. So every tackle made, every defensive duel, every time you're dribbled past, every interception, every clearance, there's a video for each one. So I'm lucky enough to be able to sit there and watch it. And I've watched all the defenders that everybody raves about. And I'm like Sancho, much better player than Maguire. But he got dribbled past nearly double the amount of times last year. He lost 20% more defensive duels than Maguire. And, you sort of sit there and think, hang on a minute. Yeah. What you're getting this from is that you just want to see Maguire foul. So I didn't even put him in my team of the year, but you guys have convinced me he's staying in there for now. Get your bids in, people, if you want him out. We're moving on to the midfield. And you still need, ladies and gentlemen, nobody's put any bids in yet for the fullbacks. If you leave it down to us, we will finalize the fullbacks. Robertson or Luca Digne, it's up to you who you want to put in there. It's up to you who you want to stay in there. But we're moving on to the midfield. Jack Grealish is in. Jack Grealish is in
and it stays there.
And he's in there. Someone bid for him to be there. So it's going to cost you £5 or more to remove Jack Grealish from this team. That's been done. That's in a nutshell. That can't be disputed in any way, shape, or form. The goalkeepers are still up for debate as well. No one's put any bids in to secure anybody.
I thought someone... Oh, never mind.
Someone's got a TV on in the background.
Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Right, mate. It's cool, bruv. So there's only two players to debate at the moment in the midfield. Does Bruno Fernandez deserve a place in there? And would anybody want to throw him out for any particular reason?
Yeah, throw him out.
Because he's a
Nah, I'm
United
just
player.
kidding.
If you're on drugs,
Yeah, listen. I only
Get rid of
came
him.
here
He's crap.
I only came here to defend Jackie just in case someone tried to come for a minute. Now,
Don't worry,
stays, Bruno stays, and I'm happy, fam. That's all I got.
KJ, his ass is going nowhere, bro. Don't worry. It's cool.
Listen.
Here, bruv.
Listen, that wasn't nothing to do with me. Ask the gold diggers about that. But yeah, Jack Grealish has been one of the best players in the Premier League this year. Like, facts. The way he's carried that Aston Villa team to safety and then also elevated them to be pushing on. Boy, you can't deny the impact.
Was he that good though last season? Was he that good?
Yes.
As good as he was this season though.
He was that good. He was good. He was very good last season. This season's been excellent. He's raised the level again. That's how.
Yeah, but is he better than someone like Kevin De Bruyne in terms of what he's done this year?
Yeah, well, in terms of this year, the impact it's had on his team. Yeah, I'm saying this. You can. You're sorry, man. You can you could possibly put out Fabinho and put KDB in there because he was Player of the Year. He deserves to be in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But Jack Grealish's impact and Bruno Fernandez's impact on both their teams is undeniable. Like, they have to be here for 2020, bro. And that's my piece, man. Peace out, guys.
Just to add on KJ's point, yeah. Talking about this season, what the most important thing is his level of creativity. There's not a lot of emphasis on him now. You can have there's more emphasis on the likes of the fullbacks, Ross Barkley when he comes in, Anwar Ghazi, Bertrand Traore, and it'll be good for him because there'll be less pressure on him to create things for Aston Villa. I
hear that. I've got to edit this up to do it, but take out Harry Kane, which we're going to do now, and put in Olivier Giroud. Giroud wasn't on the list, but we will get that done for you. I love a little bit of team petty.
Yes,
I love
boys.
a petty on the stream. Look, for me, Jack, I'm happy with Jack. Again, I didn't pick Jack Grealish in my team. I put KDB in front of him. Somebody paid for to put Jackie Grealish in there, so he stays there until somebody bids him out. They're the rules.
I think Fabinho's got to go for Kevin De Bruyne. I'm sorry, Ram.
The team doesn't need. Guys, let me just finish my sentences, please. The team doesn't need to be functional.
Right.
The team doesn't need to be what you would pick to go and play a match. So Fabinho can come out, but let me get a Ram on this. On a real level, would you say Fabinho has had has he had a better 2020 than KDB in your opinion? And why isn't your camera on? You're really annoying me with no camera recently, bruv.
Sorry, the cameras. There's something wrong with my laptop camera. I do apologize for that.
Okay, no worries then. Would you say that Fabinho has been better than KDB this season?
I'd say Fabinho's been more consistent than the KDB. Like, obviously, you can't really compare both of them because they're asking one player to be a destroyer in midfield and another player to go and create for the attackers. But look, the importance of Fabinho last season and also this season has been important. Like, the guy for us, he's so pivotal in that DM position. I was generally worried when when Klopp was thinking about putting him in centre back, but it seems as though he's comfortable in centre back. But the guy breaks up play, but not only that, he recycles it really quickly, which is so important in a DM these days. So yeah, Fabinho has been more consistent. I think KDB in the back end of 2020, I think the drop off for him has been quite big compared to Fabinho. But Fabinho's actually elevated himself.
Well, do you know what's been interesting is this season for KDB has. I don't even like saying this when I think about KDB, but I think this season has been fairly average for him as an individual. But again, are we? You got to look at it from this point of view, Ram. That's what the boys were saying about Virgil Van Dyke. They're basically saying, well, okay, yeah, he might have been. He's X, Y, and Z. He's normally really great, but actually this year, his levels have dropped. I mean, so I get your point about KDB.
Can I say something? But
you defended Virgil Van Dyke for the same rationale was used as to why Virgil Van Dyke shouldn't be in the team. It should be in. They said he shouldn't be in the team of the year because his levels have dropped over the course of 2020, and you've defended him based on he's still done X, Y, and Z. Why can't you apply that same logic to KDB? I'd love your opinion on that. That's why I can understand you.
Well, like when you look at 2019-2020 as a season, what KDB did in the back end of 2019 and the early parts of 2020, I thought he was incredible. Like the guy was getting assists left, right, and center. He was scoring goals. He was really, really important. But I think when it's midway through 2020, he was okay. He wasn't at that same level. But then when he went to around about September to December, I think the levels have been dropped significantly compared to what Virgil van Dyke is, where his levels have dropped quite a bit, but he was still better than all the other defenders in the Premier League.
Okay. Can I respond to Ram? Ram, what are you doing? You're Mr. Jordan Henderson. You don't even mention him. That just goes to show me he doesn't deserve to be in this team.
Do you know what? I love that Egal brought that up yesterday.
Yes.
This is how I know Liverpool fans. As much as the push for Jordan Henderson it's obtuse, it's contrived because you want him to go down as a great Premier League captain. When it actually comes down to like picking even Liverpool's best midfielders, you don't pick him. You really don't, and you've been caught off guard here a little bit with that. That's perfect.
No.
Yes.
We've had a super chat here. Fabinho for Kante.
Yes.
Team Petty.
Yes.
If you want Kante out of this team now, it's going to cost you more than £10. Kante, Olivier Giroud has been put. Olivier Giroud has been put into this team by a Chelsea fan back in their teams in relation to that. So that's as it stands right now. Kante, Bruno, Jack Grealish in the middle. I mean, what's your argument, Ram, then? Should Henderson, who are we taking out for Henderson then?
Look. Hang on a minute. Yeah. I spoke to Jem yesterday about it, and I did retract my comments from that show on Midnight Vibe saying it was all emotion. I think what I said was, I'm man enough to say I was wrong. It was all emotion. The 10 months of disrespect that Jordan Henderson got for him not being a flashy player, I think I got a little bit carried away with it, and I'm man enough to say I overreacted for it. I went completely overboard, and yeah, that's that. I'm just saying, I'm retracting that comment.
Hang on a minute here.
I've
got a big one and come in here that says last super chat before I go party some more. He's obviously in Australia, so they've already had their New Year's. That's about I'm in Australia. That's about 7 months, man. He says this show has been great, a great cure for a crap year. Love this show and all the gang. Yes, even you, Igal. Hope to be more involved in 2021. Of course, Philip, no problem. KDB in. He means Kante out. So Kante is now out straight away after that mammoth super chat. So Kante's back out. Been put here. KDB is back in the team of the year.
That's cool.
And you know, it's nice to hear like Ram admit that. And I know that a lot of Liverpool fans that are tuning in, especially Grizz and Gav when they watch this. Maybe James Redmond be like, no, we actually rate Henderson that highly. I'm calling your bluff. You can come out with all the what's the word you use when you give a really beautiful speech? Gav, is it soliloquy?
Monologue. No. Monologue. It's a monologue.
Yeah, monologue.
It's a monologue, but Gal says, is it soliloquy?
Soliloquy. I don't want to get into the technical, but same.
Ram. How do you say it, Gal?
Soliloquy.
Soliloquy.
Yeah.
What's technical about that, Ram? I need to understand what you're saying.
Oh my God, this is my A-level English coming into play now. A monologue is basically where in theatre you speak to the audience, but no one else is many your thoughts and your feelings. But a soliloquy is more or less a speech to the characters around you and also to the audience as well.
So I would say when you're talking on this panel, it is a soliloquy because he's talking to us, the panel, and to the audience.
Yeah.
So if it was me by myself, it would be a monologue. If I'm talking to a panel and the audience, okay. So Igal was right on that. Cool. I'm just trying to understand. I didn't know that. That's great. My point is, when I hear these Liverpool fans giving their monologues, their things, right? I'm struggling to say it. Whenever I hear him talk about Henderson, my first thought is, you're bullshitting. I'm a salesman, right? Yes. I feel like I'm being sold to with Jordan Henderson. When I hear you, man, talk about Trent, Salah, Van Dyke, I believe you. When it comes to Henderson, I'm like, you're trying to sell me a car that's got a dodgy clutch, mate. You're trying to, and it's not coming up. We've got some super chat here. me just do some super chats real quickly. Sorry, because I don't want to miss them because they pop off the screen. Sam here says, put Kane back in, please. There it is. Kane's been moved back in. Where is Harry Kane gone? Harry Kane's back in. That's the right thing to do, to be fair. He's a good player, Drew. He doesn't deserve to be there. There's one more super chat here that says, oh, wow, Kante in for KDB. Can't disrespect Kante like that.
My boy, Daniel.
That's actually more than £22 US dollar, Australian dollars. So that does work. He's back in again. That's Zuma, Terry, not Kante. Zuma. Here is Kante. There's Kante. He's next to him. That's why I got confused. He's there. He's in. So that's been done straight away. Daniel steps up and makes that move. You were going to say something, Gal?
Yeah. PFA Player of the Year. In any other world, the PFA Player of the Year is no question going to be in this team, right? But it just goes to show you this PFA Player of the Year that was given to Jordan Henderson was almost given to him based on the team performance and his character lifting the team and how they performed and the drop off without him. So I don't take that award seriously anymore. Because in what world, Ram, let me finish. In what world does the best player in the English game for that whole season not get into this team?
It wasn't the PFA Player of the Year, it was the FWA. But that award is different because it's given to things that the footballer has done on and off the field. So that it wasn't a PFA. PFA was given to Kevin De Bruyne, but FWA. Right.
Okay, but let me just say this, right? So I don't take any of them awards overtly seriously, and I haven't done for especially the Team of the Year and anything where the players are voting, because hundreds of players have openly admitted over the years that they don't take it seriously, that they put joke votes in. They will sometimes be like, oh, we've got a mate from the national team who's up for Player of the Year. We're going to vote for his biggest rival to wind him up. There have been teams in recent years that have put names like Pele and Maradona in for their Players of the Year votes and things like that. As soon as I heard this, even if it's 20, 30%, it makes the vote void. Do you get where I'm coming from? It makes it void. I don't take it seriously. Equally, a lot of it is about PR play. Like Marcus Rashford has got a big shout. If he continues scoring at the rate he is, and if Man United push on in the league, Rashford has got a massive shout of winning. Probably the footballer's right as the thing of the year. And one of the, not that he hasn't been a good footballer this year, but what he's doing socially and how that's making him look and how people feel about him will elevate him in those votes, because people become emotional when they vote for these things. So I don't take it overtly seriously. There's a super chat that's come in that I want to touch on that speaks of this sort of stuff. It says, apart from Fabinho, Bruno, Grealish, Hendo has been more consistent than any other midfielder in the Premier League from January until December. Stop this bias. Now, let me address this. And I'm addressing this with I'm being genuine as I can here. I'm not saying he hasn't been consistent. I'm not saying he hasn't been a very good football player. But you've just named 3 players there in front of him for Team of the Year. And if there's 3 players in front of him in his position for Team of the Year, plus the brilliance of Kane and Salah, Van Dyke, Trent, Robertson, that's why, in my opinion, he can't be Player of the Year. And like I've said, I know for a fact, well, no, okay, I don't know for a fact. I totally believe that if there was a list of 3 players out of the main 11 at Liverpool had to be sold, I honestly believe that Henderson would be in that 3 all the time with every Liverpool fan. If they were, if it was a blind vote and nobody could see what they were doing, he would be in the bottom. Out of your best 11, he's in your bottom 3 as an overall football player. And I did see a comment say, I hope that Terry doesn't rate Roy Keane then. See, don't get twisted. Roy Keane was technically a very good football player. People forget that. People act like he was just all blood and tears. He wasn't. He's a technically good footballer, but nice try. Name me 5 box-to-box midfielders better than Henderson in the league. That isn't the debate, is it?
No.
The debate isn't name me 5 better box-to-box defenders. The point is has he been in 2020 better than the 3 that are currently in there? Stroke for Fabinho or KDB that have been voted out by the viewers financially. They've been voted out and outbidded to be in this team. It isn't about how many box-to-box are better than him. The point is, I don't think he's the best player in the league. Again, I spoke about before, Eden Hazard, top class to world class player. But when you start talking about him being on Messi's level consistently, better than Cristiano Ronaldo, you're overrating him. Yeah. Henderson, one of the best players in the league last year. One of the best midfielders in the league last year. Probably the best captain in the league last year. But best overall football player. And people talking about him being better than Scholes, better than Carrick, better than... I saw one Liverpool fan tweeting the other day about how he's had more impact at Liverpool than what Patrick Vieira had at Arsenal. That's where I say you're taking it too far, my brother. Too far, my brother. Too far. If you want to vote Henderson into the team,
do so.
Put your bids in. Put your bids in and get it done. We're going to move on now. I mean, Bruno Fernandez is staying in there as far as I can see right now. Get your bids in. To get Kante out, it's going to cost you more than 15. To get Jack Grealish out, it's going to cost you more than £5. You still haven't voted yet for your goalkeeper or for your left back. So make sure you get that done.
Just to add, if Thiago actually played some games at the back end of 2020, then maybe he
can't be. The reason I didn't put him on, he didn't play in the Premier. He didn't play.
Oh, okay.
He had to have been at the club he's at now for the whole of 2020. Yes. You can see on there's none of the new signings for any club.
Before we go, can I say one thing on Bruno? I want to hear from Jem and Ram because I already know Terry's stance on this. If Bruno continues this output consistently for the rest of the season, and KDB, we've seen a slight drop off from him this season. If he continues this way, to me, there's no more debate. Bruno, especially if Manchester United win the league, if Bruno either wins the league or continues these statistics and they don't win the league, but he's still statistically outperforming Kevin De Bruyne, is there any more reason why we can even compare them anymore? They've completely broken apart now. There's one option.
For me,
it's no debate because sorry, Jam.
Go on, bro.
Because the guy's outputs and the way he's transformed Man United for the last, I said it to Terry when he first joined. If he continues this for the back end of last season and this season as a whole, then definitely I don't think there's an argument for Bruno not being better than KDB.
Do you know what's interesting is goalposts will always be moved. When Bruno first came in, there was this question around, could he be the best attacking midfielder in the league on day one because of what he'd done elsewhere? And it was no, he's got a rep. That what was first said, and this is how you always know that people have agendas and they won't stick to their word. They're like cowards in many ways. No, Terry, he has to. If he replicates what he was doing in Portugal, yes, but he has to replicate it before we start having the conversation. He hasn't just replicated it for 12 months. He surpassed it. It's better. You know, he has more goal contributions than Premier League games, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't at that level even in Portugal. And he's probably been elevated more by having better players around him, right? And that's also a sign of a big player where he's gone to a bigger pond with bigger fish, but he's gobbled a few up and become a fucking shark, right? So there's that element. But what then happens is, he's got to win things as well, though. Okay. And then he's got to do it for 2 or 3 years, though. I see the same pattern with Bruno as I saw with Kane, and we're gonna get onto Rashford in a minute. Rashford's gonna suffer with the same thing because with Rashford, and we'll move on to this conversation. People are saying, well, he hasn't won anything, so we can't call him top class or world class. Son hasn't won anything, and everybody calls him top class and world class. But with Rashford, the goalpost moves. In fairness, Rashford has won 3 trophies.
Yeah, he's won more than Son, isn't it?
Yeah, he literally won. Rashford has won more trophies in his 5-year career than Tottenham have in the last 25 years. So, well, not quite. I think they've won 2 League Cups and an FA Cup in the last. So I made it 25 years, so it fits my narrative. But still, but the reason I use 25 years is actually let's use 23 years because Rashford's only 23, right? So Rashford was born, he grew up, and has played football for 5 years as a pro. And in the 23 years that Rashford's been alive on God's green earth, he's won more trophies in that time period than Tottenham. But yet people will move the goalpost for him and say, you can't call him class or in the team of the year until he starts winning things. But yet Son, by the way, who I think is top class to world class, is spoken about as being such an amazing player. But in the calendar year of 2020, Rashford has outperformed it. Well, they're literally level on goal output, everything else. But Rashford for me is a younger man doing it. By the way, in a worse team with a world-class manager, in a worse team with a PE teacher. So I put Rashford in over him. That's my personal choice. But I'm happy for people that think Son's better, Mane's better, and all that. I don't care about that. What I care about is trust me when I say this live on the air right now. The Rashford goalposts every season will move. When he was remember when he went the first season, I think he got 8 goals half season. The next year, I think it was 11 or 12. The third season, his second full year, he equaled it and got another 11, 12 goals. He's regressed. He ain't going forward. Last year, man bangs in like mid-20s, high 20s, something like that in all comps.
Yeah.
And he's got to do it again. This year, he's tracking towards 30 goals in all competitions. Yeah, well, when's he going to start winning major trophies? That's how you know he's brilliant. when the goalposts get moved. And Bruno, for me, is better than KDB, in my opinion, overall as a football player, not just the technical element. But I think it's going to take another 12 plus months for people to accept it and
listen. I'm big to say that. I think Bruno's replicated what he needs to do in terms of hit the standards and continue them standards. The only thing that I'm a little bit skeptical with him is just the longevity. That's it for me. I just want to see him do it every season consistently. Do you know what I mean? He's not always going to hit the levels that he's hitting now, but you want him to be like this. You don't want him to go like that, hit rock bottom, come back up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do hear that. And I think for me, do I expect him to maintain 100% goal contributions to game record in the Premier League? Absolutely not, because I don't think any player has ever done that over a 3-4 year period. But I get the feeling that up until his early 30s, he's going to maintain a kind of 70 to 80% ratio, which is still astronomical. Achille, who do you want me to? I can't take out Kante for £5 for Henderson, but I can take out either Grealish or Bruno Fernandez. Please let me know which of the two you would like me to take out. Alisson has been moved into that position. Has been moved into that position to get that done. But I stand by what I say about Rashford, and that will move us on now to talking about these strikers. I will put Henderson back in, but you need to let me know which of either Bruno or Jack Grealish you want me to move out, my friend.
Take Grealish out just to piss off KJ.
On the attackers, again, I spoke about Rashford there. I'm putting him in because I think for a 22-year-old to 23-year-old in this time period, he has kept up pace with world-class players like Mane. He's kept up and pushed past world-class players like Son that play within the Premier League clubs. And he's done it in a team that's been up and down and been going through turmoil. He's added more and more assists to his game. He's added more and more creativity to his game. And I'm not going to lie to you, he's done this at the exact same time as literally solving a decade-old problem in the UK, a social issue within the UK, or he hasn't quite solved it yet, but he's gone a long way to doing it. I think what Rashford has achieved in 2020 is astronomical. And actually, when you look at the calendar year-wise at the when you actually look calendar year-wise and look at things sort of statistically, what he has achieved and what he has done in that time period, in that period of time, is just been out of this world. Both statistically, his performances on the pitch, and his improvement for me has just been astounding.
And what he's done out of football as well. To be fair, it's just been great,
the whole thing's been absolutely brilliant. But of course, I know not everybody likes that. I know not everybody wants to talk about that. I know a lot of people think that no, we should look at multiple.
I want Sadio Mane now. I'm not going to lie. Out of them three there, Sadio Mane has to fit in one of them. And I agree with Rashford. And everyone's not going to like me because they know what I think. I like Kane. I do. He is a world-class top striker. But I just don't know how Sadio Mane is not in there. And then if you're going to remove Salah, who I think deserves to be there, then it's tough. I don't know. I feel like Sadio Mane should go in for Harry Kane. I'm not even joking.
You know what? I was thinking of putting Salah, Rashford, and Mane in.
That's what I was.
Because
I'm thinking.
Because Kane had a massive injury layoff at the start of 2020.
He did.
About 6 months or 5 months. I don't know.
He was out, wasn't he?
He was out for a very, very long time, and only now there was a period where his numbers were stupid, but I think he's now started to drop off a little bit after the last 5 games. I think because teams are sort of nullified Spurs, but that's my opinion. I mean, if anyone else
what about Jamie Vardy?
I was going to get to that. I was going to break it down.
I don't know what Vardy's stats are though. I mean, he had a good.
You get up the stats for
Jem. Let me break this down for you guys. You got Jamie Vardy. You have Kane. You have Calvin Lewin, right? That I would say that would be the options for that position, right?
No.
To me, it's not Jamie Vardy or because of the back end of the last season, he messed up and his goals dried up, and also a lot of his goals are penalties. So I'm going to take that away from the over goal tally and say there is one guy who stands out for me, and you guys might laugh at this, but Danny Ings over Calvin Lewin, over Kane, over Vardy, in my opinion. More goal contributions without penalties involved. a lot of goal contributions throughout both seasons, this season and the back end of last season. He, to me, stands out as an individual who surprised me, and statistically, he matches up with these guys. So to me, if you're going to do Team of the Year, let's not be sentimental and always put Kane. Let's actually think about who statistically outperformed their expectations. And Danny Ings at Southampton was the most impressive out of everybody. He almost won the Golden Boot. He was 2 goals off.
He was also injured, wasn't he? He's quite injury prone as well.
You guys may not agree with it, but look, I was upset when Danny Ings left. I wanted him to stay because it was not only for sentiments, but also the guy. I think that guy would have been a really useful asset for Liverpool. What he's done at Southampton has been great, but for me, I think the front three of Mane, Salah, and Rashford would be, because all of them have met their expectations and sometimes exceeded it. And what Danny Ings did, I wouldn't say it was purple patch, but it was, and it wasn't consistent enough compared to what Mane.
Behave. He's on Liverpool, the best team in the world, you're saying. But Mane and Salah get in. Get out of here. Come on. Be realistic. Danny Ings deserves to be in this team as much as anybody else does. And I think my front three, if I had to pick, obviously on the right is Salah, Danny Ings up top. And to me, the position that everyone can argue is on the left.
Igal, if you're going to start moaning about Danny Ings being in, then Jamie Vardy's surely got to be involved, because to me, they're on that same level. It's always been them two that have been fighting and scoring consistent goals over the season. So for me, you can't just completely put him in the same bracket as Mane.
There's a super chat here that says Henderson in for Bruno. He captained a league-winning side, a Champions League winning side. Bruno has scored a lot of penalties. Listen, Bruno is still the highest outfield goal scorer midfielder in 2020 in the world.
I know it gets to Terry, doesn't it?
Outside of penalties, it's mad. The penalty thing winds me up. Something he has been taken out of the team. Bruno Fernandez is now out of the Team of the Year. And Henderson has been put in for him. That's a shocker there. We're debating some other bits and pieces. Danny Ings is now being debated. Mane is now being added into the mix here. Jamie Vardy's being added into the mix. I'm going to throw a few names out here when it comes to that. Man United fans or football fans of plenty. Are you genuinely going to have Bruno Fernandez not in this team? Get your votes in now. Get your bids in now. Raheem Sterling, should he be considered?
No.
No, where has he been this especially this season? Like I said before, he's been non-existent. All right, he was very good the last season, the end of last season. I give him that, but he's been nowhere
compared to others. His levels
have dropped.
Aubameyang would have been in the mix up until this season, but he can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
I would say Saka has been our best output from a forward this season so far. And the back end of last season, it was Aubameyang was performing well, but realistically, we've been performing so bad that I don't have a case for any of my guys.
Oh, Harry here has said, hang on a minute. He says, allow all this Kane talk. Injured for 6 months and still got 36 goal and assist contributions. That is Messi, Ronaldo numbers. Get him back in. So Harry Kane is secured. It's going to cost more than £5 now to remove Harry Kane. And here we go. DJ says Bruno in for Hendo. No chance Hendo over Bruno. It's been, look at that. And that's a Chelsea fan.
That's a Chelsea fan, yeah.
Chelsea fan stepping up there. Harry Kane is secured. So as it stands, hang on, we've had another super chat. Don't ever move Bruno again. Put Henderson in the bin and Greenwood as young player of the year. So Bruno's now got £10 in the bank. It's going to cost you £10 to move out Bruno Fernandez. And Mason Greenwood's been moved into that young player of the year award that we haven't even got to yet. That's from it's going to be hard for me. Walasha was. Is that Walasha? Is that how you pronounce that? Maybe. Walasha was. That's been done there. So right now, Danny Ings can't move into that central role because Harry Kane has been outbid. I think he's a great shout. Vardy, I hear that. Do you know why I put Harry Kane in there though? Do you know why I put Harry Kane in that position? Oh, look at that. Bruno's got another £5. It's £15 to get Bruno out. Yeah. They are bidding for him massively here. The viewers are in. You know what I'd say about Harry Kane as well? It's the level of assists and his overall football I put him in. Because as good as Ings and Vardy are, they can't set up and pass and move. Their football isn't as good. They're not, and that's what I love. By the way, that's what I love about Rashford. It's what I love about Bruno Fernandez. It's what I love about Jack Grealish. These guys are starting to deliver massive outputs, but their football's good. They play. They're not Lukaku type players that they're good at finishing off headers from 6 yards, one-on-one opportunities if they're set up on a plate. These guys create opportunities. The goal Rashford scored the other night, the touch, the drop, the intelligence not to shoot, drop, bang, goes again. You know, Mo Salah's the same. Mo Salah, I know he had a bad game last night, but most of Salah's goals, it's like he sells the goalkeeper the wrong. It's just so intelligence is there. And Harry Kane, for me, I'm glad someone put that bid in for him, because for me, Harry Kane has just been the best striker in the Premier League now for 6 years. And it's starting to prove it. Oh, look at that. Another 5 in for Grealish. Grealish is secured by £10 now. £10 for Jackie Grealish. And it's £15 for Bruno to try and move them out. If you want Kante secure by £5. Maguire and Van Dyke. Van Dyke secure by 5, I believe. Trent is in. Ellison is in by 5. And we still don't know about left backs yet. We've got to come back to that in a moment. But I think we've had another super chat. This is need Reece James in. Love Team 30.
Yes, brother. Big up, Daniel.
In for £10. I'll add him in a moment. Look at that. Danny boy. He's getting so many Chelsea players into this team tonight. That's what he's doing. Team Petty in the house. So I'm keeping them there. We all happy with the Mo Salah one. I'm going to move Mane back down to here because I'm keeping Rashford there. If anybody wants to move him in, get it done. Get your bids in now.
Get Rashford out, man.
Sonny! Well, Sonny, I love you, my Sonny.
Get him out.
Can I say one thing?
Sunshine, my early sunshine.
Okay, allow it.
Talking about Sonny, let's talk about Son. Isn't Son the better this year, 2020? He's performed better than Kane, in my opinion. When you think about outputs, yes, Rashford outperformed him. It just goes to show you how good Rashford's been. But in my opinion, Son's been the better player of Kane. Everyone gives a lot of credit to Kane, but Son has been one of their best players by far, and he carried them while Kane was out. So he deserves a little bit to be spoken about, even for me as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I mean, with Son, I think he's brilliant. I think he's legitimately an amazing footballer. If he goes through one-on-one, just like Mo Salah, I would bet a lot of money every time he's going to score. That area of Son, for me, is just absolutely astronomical as a football player. I think he's brilliant. And my only reason for putting Rashi in front of him is Rashford's got the same goal outputs as him in 2 less games, but at the same, and also in 2020, this is what I love about Rashford doing it in 2020. Bruno's been on the penalties. So you remember when Rashford started last season, he was scoring lots of goals, and he's a penalty merchant, he's a penalty merchant, he's a penalty merchant. The penalties got taken away, and he's maintained this level. But the biggest thing is he's 5 years younger. And that, for me, stands out massively in relation to that. Original base Annie here, but yeah, Son's amazing. Terry, I have 2 shouts for Young Player of the Year. James Justin for Leicester and Saka, who has been amazing for Arsenal. Also, I have a great new year. You guys help me forget. I have Corona. Big up yourself. Listen, Original Base Annie, you've been watching for years, financially contributing for years. You're an absolute legend of the channel. Thank you. I'm going to move Saka into that area. The reason I haven't gone with Justin is because Justin didn't play for large parts of the early part of 2020, I believe. But we're going to put Saka in there for that debate as well. We had more super chats come through. I've got to go through all of these now. We had this. Wow, look at this one. We had one from B that didn't say anything. That's from Bagat Raj. Nothing came in. Get the captain back in the team where he belongs. Keep Fernandez out.
Let's go.
All banter fellas. Love the channel. Let's have a good little United title battle this season. Oh, Bruno's out.
Bye, Bruno.
Outbidded. And it's a £25 bid for Henderson. Oh, that's an absolute outrage. Yeah. I'm actually fuming. That's 25.
Get Rashford out.
Oh, big up Liam, man.
Hang on a second. We've got another one here that says Jack Grealish stays. Another £5 for Jack Grealish.
Why?
So he moves up to £15. He goes up to £15 in there. What else? I know we've had some more come in. This one says Bruno can't be moved. Henderson is way overrated by Liverpool fans. None of this Liverpool fans rate him. His average is well worth my £20.
Hey. Now that I don't like.
Listen, It's £20 needed now. £20 needed to get rid of Jordan Henderson after the £5 that came in there. You can do this collectively, people. That's another £5 for the Portuguese Magnifico. Listen, so that means it needs £15 is needed to get him out. Oh, Sonny with £100. He says, don't take Bruno out again. Oh, Sonny's back in his team now.
Sonny boy.
Sonny boy.
Hang on, so we take that £10 and that £100 from the others. It's £110 for Bruno Fernandez. Absolutely astronomical. Back in his, you get down there, son. In you go, Bruno. You're back in the team.
Do you know what I love? Kante's just chilling there.
He's
He's chilling there. He's just chilling. Look, he's like, yeah, these guys are.
If I did it, I would have gone take Bruno out and but take Kante with him. That's what I would. See, it's yeah. I mean, you don't have to. Yeah, there we go. It's to get the players out, but people are backing their players tonight massively. Hang on a sec here. I don't know how much money this is. It's not £45,000. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's getting mental. I need to work out how much this is. Reginite is coming with $100. Let's create and put Bruno there. No one can touch Bruno. Is safe by 210. 210. Hang on, there's no way Bruno. Hendy, bye. Bruno stays forever. I don't know what.
That's 45 quid, I think.
I'm gonna do the conversion rate. I don't know how much money that is because I have no idea.
What is that?
I'll laugh at 45p.
It's £47 on current conversion rate. Actually, Bruno goes to 250.
Wow.
He's secured by £255. Bruno Fernandez. Where are we going on here now? Saka stays. Wow, another look at that. Saka's been voted in. So Saka's out by himself. That's £5 in equivalent because it's Canadian dollars there. So Saka is currently young player of the year.
Still Arsenal fans as well.
By £5 because Mason Greenwood already had £5 put in for him. So we're going to take him out. Mason out, but it's £5 to remove Saka as it stands right now to get that done. Red United, look at these legends. Look at these legendary viewers of the Football Terrace. We love you so much. Keep Kante there. It's another 10 for Kante. Yes. Kante's now got, Kante's now got £10. Kante's now up to £15 in his name. Kante's £15 to get him out. 15.
Oh, you forgot Reece James. Reece James.
Oh, yeah, Reece James.
I'll go and add Reece James in a minute. I started all this. Yes, you did, my friend. You did start it, my friend. You absolutely did. I'm going to go and get that done. I want us to debate Young Player of the Year, though, gentlemen. Saka, Phil Foden, Mason, Mount, Mason Greenwood, Phil Foden, as I say. Who's impressed you in the last 12 months?
Mason Greenwood. There's no way in hell that Saka. I like Saka. Don't get me wrong, Miguel. You know I big him up. As much as I don't like your team, I like Saka. But Mason Greenwood has been unbelievable, especially at the end of the last season. The amount of goals the man was banging in at his age. You know what I mean? Like he for me was immense. All right, he's not been as good this season. I hear that. I get what you're going to start saying. But for me, Mason Greenwood overall has done much more than Saka for his team.
Oh my God, am I hearing you correctly? The man has played left back, right wing, left wing, center mid. He's played on the left. He's played on the left of a midfield four. He's played all these positions. Plus, he's contributed more assists than every other player except for Trent and Kevin De Bruyne. That is ridiculous. In my opinion, this guy in 2020 has shown that not only is he one of the best young players in the league, but he's obviously one of Arsenal's best players. He's obviously one of the best players in his age bracket, and I think he's in his age group. He's a generational talent. And for you to
2020, in 2020, you're telling me that Saka has been the best youngster.
Yes.
No.
With my chest.
No. That's just bias, mate. You're being biased.
Nobody here can tell me statistically that he has not been the best youngster by far.
You're 14th, mate.
In the Premier League. It doesn't matter what we are.
He hasn't done anything to influence.
It doesn't matter where we are. This is an individual award. This is not a team award. individually, as an individual, he has been the best youngster. I'm sorry that Callum Hudson-Odoi has not lived up to his potential. I'm sorry.
I picked my team in it. I got
I'm
nothing
sorry
to
that-
do with
I'm
my
sorry
team. I'm
that-
saying Mason
I'm
Greenwood.
sorry that
Are you
Curtis
forgetting what
Jones
Mason
doesn't count.
Greenwood done for Man United at the end of last season?
No.
You
That
are.
doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What he's done this season is included also. It's 2020. It's not the back end of last season. It's 2020 in a
I
whole.
disagree. I'm sorry, mate.
Harry,
I think
can you
Mason
get
Greenwood.
this?
1 second. I know we've got a lot of super chats that came in. I want to have a little look at this, right? Let's go to age groups, right? We're going to go under 21s. We're going to go top 5 leagues, all positions, goals and assists, because I think it's important to do both. And have a little butchers and see who comes out in this between Saka and Mason Greenwood. Like Haaland's top with 36. You got Kai Havertz and I'm just trying to find these two individuals, see where they actually made up. Mason Greenwood comes in 10th in 2020 with 13 goals and assists. Saka, I can't find Saka.
Exactly.
I'm going to go to page 2. I think I just saw him. Maybe I didn't. Saka's on 10. So Mason has outperformed him slightly, but we had some super chats come in. But before we go to super chats, Reece James has now been moved into that team. £5 for Saka. So Saka's now safe by £10 in that category. I can't have Maguire in a centre-back role. Swap him for Gabriel.
What? Gabriel?
What?
Well, Gabriel can't. Listen, I appreciate the super chat. You can select somebody else.
He's a fraud.
Gabriel wasn't playing for a Premier League team for the first half of 2020. So you can select someone else without paying. You can select someone else. Another £5 for Bruno. Where are Liverpool fans backing Henderson off stealing dust caps to fund the Henderson fund here? So that's Bruno now on £260 secured. We've got loads more super chats here. Geez, hang on a minute. Oh, I've actually missed the one. Sonny, I can't put it on the screen, bruv, because I didn't get to it in time. It says Greenwood stays too. I can beat anyone. I always watch, but never use super chats. Keep up the good work. Sonny S. Greenwood, he put in £50 for the young player of the year. Greenwood is secure by
I don't even support your team.
Pounds. Greenwood has been put in there. That is astronomical. Place Mason Van Greenwood back into Young Player of the Year and replace Saka with Kante in the midfield.
Yes,
that's been done. So listen to this. That gives Mason £5 more for Mason, £55. Kante's out. Saka goes into the midfield for Kante, into that position there, and he's safe in that central midfield position now, young Saka, by £5. That is amazing. That
Chelsea boys, sort it out. We don't need him there.
Get him cannot have Bukayo Saka in front of Fabinho, Henderson.
Oh,
yes, Daniel. My boy, Daniel. My boy, Daniel.
£30.
Yes.
That's bye-bye to Saka. And he comes back in again. Kante's back in the mix. He's back in the mix again. They're absolutely backing their boys tonight. They're backing their boys like you wouldn't believe. Back again to check this foolishness. You delusional Chelsea fans need to stop. Trent back in. I love Jordan Henderson, but Bruno
Chelsea fans.
Something else. Look at that. That means Reece James is back out and Trent is back in again. Look at that. That is a team of the year and young player of the year. We're still waiting on one position that hasn't been touched. And of course, when you guys see Si's message, he doesn't have to play because he already put in once. He can take out Maguire if he wants to, but we haven't decided on left backs yet. Come on, boys. Chili B. £20, by the way. Mason Gunwood, £55 in there for. That's absolutely top notch. Where was Bruno? I don't know what that means. Bruno played the majority of this year in the Premier League, but there we go. Look at it. It's beautiful.
Just on the young player of the year thing, I think for me it has to be Greenwood. I think what Greenwood's done this 2020 has been incredible. I want to give a shout out to Phil Foden. Phil Foden has also had a really, really good year.
True,
especially with the expectation that was given to him by Pep Guardiola and basically the City team by saying how good this guy is. So yeah. It'll be Greenwood, but I also put Foden in.
Ram, what about Saka? You're being out
Emi Martinez has been moved back into number 1 spot now. Someone put their bid in for him. Emi Martinez is in. We've had a decider here. I've got to go away and work on it because I've got to add him. I didn't add him. I don't know why. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Chilwell will now be the left back of 2020 annual.
Yes, boys.
How is this possible?
Yes.
Scott,
Come on, my boy, Danny.
It's been done. Chelsea fans are back in their club. Oh, look at this. It says this one here. Martinez needs that spot. Arsenal made the mistake of letting him go. Martinez now is secure by £10. Hang on a minute. You missed my £10 earlier. I said Van Dyke out. Lindelof in.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Oh, my word.
My word. Lindelof.
Lindelof over him. I cannot believe my eyes. I'm going to have to go add these in. So I've got to go and add.
Where are the Liverpool fans? Where are they? Because it seems like they're getting battered right now.
So what I've got to do is find I've got to add Chilwell, right? So I'm going to have to go back into the files behind it and add. Ben Chilwell's now been added. I didn't even have.
He's out.
I didn't even. One sec. We have to go through chronological order when we do this. It's a show. I've got to add these people in. I didn't even have Lindelof as an option in the file add to the website to add to the tiering system. I can't believe Victor Lindelof probably sitting at home watching this. Hello, Vicky boy.
Spat his drink out.
Yeah, he's like, how am I in this? He's like, thank you so much. How am I in this? What did I do to deserve such love?
Good.
But he's in the team as it stands right now. Remember, Ben Chilwell is safe and in by £15.
Yes, Chili B, my boy.
£15. Lindelof, Victor is in by £10 to get him out. I'm going to make the changes now, and then I'm going to represent it on the screen. I can't. Van Dijk's out. Chilwell in. Robertson out. Digne out. We're going to put this back into presentation mode. I've got to put. Where's Mason gone? Mason's dropped out. Mason's back in there. There we have it. I'm going to share back on the screen again now. Boom. There it is. That's the team as you've picked it. Can't believe Ben Chilwell.
Oh, no. He's gone. Here's another one, too.
Hang on. Let's go to some more super chats that have come in here. I might have missed it. Chilwell. That's what we had back in his boys.
Felipe Hunt.
Yeah, we had this. And then what did we get? Martinez needs that top spot. So he got the £10. We had these ones already. We scroll down.
Keep going.
Robertson in.
Let's go.
Wow. Justin Chilwell can't even defend Lacazette. So straight away, Robertson is back in, securing his spot. He's safe. He's safe.
Boys, no.
For 20, well, it's about £15 in English money. Saka's got the most assists behind Trent and KDB, 15 assists in 2020. I don't know if that's true.
That can't be true.
In all competitions, that's true.
No, it's in the Europa League. He's including FA Cup in that as well.
And League Cup.
But that's £5 for him. So that means that Greenwood's safe by £50 still as it stands right now. It's going to take a lot more to remove him. But thank you for that super chat. It means a great deal. Virgil van Dijk back in. Lindelof can't defend again. He's done him here. Lindelof's back out again. Van Dijk is back in the mix. Oh, that's not Van Dijk. Where's Van Dijk gone? Where's Van Dijk gone?
He's RIP, Terry. He's dead.
There he is.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's coming back.
They've taken him back out again. The Liverpool fans stepped up and they had their players back. But you know, when you look at that team, right? Could this team win if it actually played a Premier League? How good actually would this team be? Martinez in goal, fullbacks of Trent and Robertson, centre-back partnership of Maguire and...
no!
Hang on. Lindelof back in, of course.
No, my God.
That's the same as the US dollar. He's back in again. Lindelof is back in. He ain't having it.
So funny.
Go on, Lindelof.
I've got a joke here. Look, he was not having it.
Yeah.
We have this clown in.
Oh no, Daniel, what have you done?
Oh my God. I can't.
Daniel's gone mad today.
Daniel! Oh, he's done it. He's put them back in. They're both secured by £25.
My boy, Daniel.
Come on. James, I can't find them now. I've got to make this smaller.
Daniel, I'm going to thank you on Twitter later.
James is back.
Well done, bro.
Chilwell is back. The Liverpool fullbacks are out. They're done. They're finished. They're out of here. Chelsea fans, step up again. Do me a favor, everyone tuning in, and smash that like button, please. This is great fun on New Year's Eve. Hit the like button, please. Oh, Danny boy stepping up to the plate. Have you noticed that? No one's tried to touch Rashi. The Man United fans killed it with Bruno. You know, they just went nope.
Yeah, they weren't having it. You see it, and Saka as well with the Arsenal fans. They've just said nope. He's our best player.
It ain't being done. What about Zaha?
No. Don't get Terry started, please. Let me know.
Why not, Terry?
You got to be starting something. You got to be starting something.
Why not? Why not Zaha?
This start is very good, but his overall 2020 hasn't been good enough.
Okay.
By the way, could that team win a Premier League? Could that team?
Oh yeah.
Take out the fullbacks and put in the Liverpool fullbacks, then maybe.
Yeah. No. We don't need your fullbacks, bruv. Don't worry about them.
Yeah, I think you do.
Can you imagine?
Hang on a minute. Lindelof in defense. No.
Listen, that is your team petty when it comes to putting that team together. Like on a real level, if you just put Van Dyke in for Lindelof, that team, if it was fit for 38 games, would walk the Premier League. Would walk the Premier League. It's actually brilliant. You would have the best two centre backs in Maguire and Van Dyke. You'd have you wouldn't have the best fullbacks, but you'd have very good ones. I mean, imagine this. Kante can just single pivot, look after the midfield. Can you imagine Bruno and Grealish either side of him? It would be
tasty.
And then you've got Rashford and Mo Salah cutting in on left and right foots with
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane can either play the 9 or he can drop deep, bruv. It's
That'd
just
be
everything. It's
Who
got everything.
would manage this team?
Who would manage it? Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
I'd agree with Klopp.
Do you want Arteta in there, Igal?
Arteta would make him defend. Listen, Sammy, you can't put Son in for £5 because Rashford is clear and safe by £20. But if you want Rashford out, that takes £5 away from that. So that's £15 to get Rashi out of that position, my friend. £15, unfortunately. We have to respect people that are putting.
Can't you just take out Salah or Kane? Because they ain't got no money on them.
You can take out Salah. Yeah. No, Kane got put back in for £10.
Right.
So Kane's secure by £10. So if you want to take out Mo Salah, you can for £5. Let us know, Sam, without bidding anything extra to do it. So let us know. Hang on, Winter Surface here.
Yes,
just
Winter Surfer.
Kante a little bit more. Kante's got another £5 to his name, so that makes him £10 safe. And no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. £10 safe.
Guys.
I thought it said
Kane.
Kane.
No, what's that?
Hang on. Van Dijk got tortured by Grealish. He still has nightmares. Put 10 more on Lindelof. Lindelof.
No.
Well, actually, I love Lindelof.
Victor Lindelof is safe. Sorry, yes, by £20. £20. They're backing him.
Lindelof.
Victor
Lindelof.
Yes, Lindelof, bro. Don't diss Lindelof. He's better, bro. What are you talking about?
Okay, so Terry, I have some questions. I need to know, for the people watching that don't know, how much is it to move Greenwood?
To get rid of Greenwood right now, it's 50 English pounds.
Good night,
how much is it to move Salah? Because Salah's been there for a long time.
£5. It's £5 to move Salah.
Move Salah, somebody.
Are you stupid? No, you're not touching that edition.
If you put 99p in right now, you can move Salah.
Go on, Gal.
On this list right now, the only player that can be moved for as little as 99p by the viewers is Salah. Everybody else is secure by a minimum of £5 or more. So that can be done. Oh, can you imagine if someone did that one? Joe Linton for Salah.
I just saw that.
No.
Yes, please, someone do it. Please.
Hang on. Can we just get this team of the year to have no Liverpool players in it? Are the viewers going to be that petty tonight? That's what they're going to do, brother. That's what they're going to do. Joe Linton for Salah.
Where's Kendall? She should be happy right now.
They're going to be crying. Am I really doing it? Oh, that's harsh, bro. That's harsh. Can you imagine?
Bye, Salah.
But there we go. Bye, Salah. No Salah.
How many Liverpool players are in this team now? Because I feel like they've all just
None.
shut.
None, bruv. They've literally none.
We finished first last season. We finished first at the end of 2020. How is there no?
You're not good enough. Not good enough.
How is there zero?
Lindelof's better.
In fairness, when we picked it, there was. But what's happened is Team Petty's taken over. And once Team Petty and the Bantosaurus Rex get involved, it's over. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here like the Archbishop of Banterbury, looking after Banton deck below me, and it's just bant everywhere, bruv. I know these are really bad banter jokes. They're meant to be.
Last week we seen Banter Claus, right?
Is it in for Salah?
Which one? Oh, Lacazette's now going to be in for him. I can't
The
believe.
one with the back off.
No, wait, there's another one, Terry. That will knock Twerkers off, I think, for Joe Linton.
Keep slab it. Oh, hang on. Yeah, more for Joe Linton, who's in. And look at that. Maguire has been given more. Hang on. No.
It's going
Joe
mad.
Linton now. It's Anthony Martial.
Oh my god.
He's been done. So Maguire's got another. So Maguire's now up to £15 into safety. And I now need to go back to my magic book. And I don't even need to add Joe Linton.
No, Daniel, what are you doing? Daniel's put a 10 in as well. Oh my god.
Oh, look at that. So literally right now, Pulisic and Martial are level on £10 each. Who are we going to go with? We'll put them both in a moment. Bear with me, people.
And Joe Linton.
By the way, we've got... Oh, yes, we go with all three and then we'll goes in, right? All on 10. Yeah. And what we'll do, we've got 5 minutes of the show left. And then we'll crack on from there. I need to just add these players. I don't even have them like ready to go in as it stands right now. I don't even have it ready to go in. But I need to get Twerkazet and I need to get Anthony. Yes, and Anthony Martial. No, Lacazette was only 5, so not him and Pulisic. But it's 10.
Dan's going again. Wait a sec. Dan's gone in.
Oh, more for Pulisic. It's going to be Pulisic.
Yes.
Pulisic is in for Mohamed Salah. It's been done, and there is 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes.
Dan, if you won the lottery, man, let me know.
Oh, another 5 for Maguire and 5 for Tony.
Hey.
Unfortunately, true promoting in there. I don't.
Tony needs 5 more to level Pulisic. 10 more to go in front of Pulisic. This is going to get tight now. This is going to get tight towards the end of this game.
£30 from Mustafi.
No one cares about him.
I need to get Alisson in here, please.
I nearly died. I need to go and add Martial because Martial could do this. Martial could do this.
He's done it.
Oh, 50 million down the drain. Tony Martial scores again. Martial is clear. He's in by 5. He's in by £5 here. Oh,
what is that? Is that CLP?
Martial secures it. Martial secures it. He's £60.
There's more.
Martial is in. I love my club. I love my fan base. Oh, Pulisic now gets 20. But yes. No, Pulisic, get him out.
Oh, no.
£70. Going once, going twice. It's over. It's Martial. Tony Martial.
Daniel, man, where are you?
Team of the year. Man United fans come up trumps again.
That was just like Chelsea beat. That was like Chelsea beat Man United, wasn't it? Let's be serious.
I can't believe it. Well, in fairness, we've been one of the best teams in 2020. So who knows, bruv? Who knows? I've got to add these people in now. Mason in the young player of the year. Mohamed Salah, get out of there. And in goes Anthony Martial. He's in the team of the year. I can't believe it. I can't believe my eyes.
Surely Harry Kane's got to come out because Pulisic has got like 25 odd quid on him.
Well, somebody can make that suggestion. Should we do that?
That's not fair, is it? Come on, he's got more than Harry Kane. He should be kicked
Get
out.
Kane out.
Yeah, get Kane out.
Coming out. Kane is out. There is Martial. Kane can come out then for that. Absolutely. That's a fair point to be done there. Look at these beautiful super chats. I absolutely love all of you. All of you are amazing people. Right, I've got to go back to normal view. The only thing with this, to add it in, you have to come out of presentation mode. It takes time, people. Taking a time. Pulisic is in.
Yes.
Look at this. Can you believe it? Can you, Adam and Eve, what we've seen here? We have 2 minutes and counting, lady.
Oh, no. Winter Surfer. What's he done?
Winter Surfer's come in and said,
secure Martinez.
Just for Ram, I can secure Martinez in goal, please. That's been done. £2 for the Saka fund. Sorry.
Yes, my boy.
Please play to keep players out. No Kane. No Kane. Right, so I've got to add some more players to this again. So Mason has gone into there. Harry Kane comes out, and it's Pulisic who goes in. The fake Captain America goes in. Let's go back to presentation mode. Let's get it back up on the screen.
Everyone's saying to go in the mud. No
stand right now, and there is literally we've got in We've got 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining if you want to change anything. Just to give you an outright, I mean, everybody's secure by so much.
£48 for Saka, guys. £48.
No.
£48 for Saka. I mean, if you want to get Bruno out, it's going to cost you $260. No one's going to do that.
Wow.
£20 to get Rashford out. It's £20
Oh my God.
Maguire out. It's £20 to get Maguire out as it stands. Hang on. I don't know what.
Nothing.
So why did you say anything?
Whoa.
Who's that for?
Hey, Saka! Saka!
No, bro. Shut up, man.
It ain't Saka. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, boys.
Who's it for? We don't know. We don't know who's it for. I'm so confused. I'm waiting for his next comment to come in.
King Sultan,
Who's it for?
Tell us.
Who's it for?
Please.
Who's it for? We're going to add another minute here because we don't know who it's for. We've got another minute, whatever happens. There's another minute been added to the time here.
Just say it for? Just say it in the live chat, mate. You don't have to pay, pay again.
Come on.
Oh, he says for Son for Pulisic. No.
Pulisic out! Oh my God! Pulisic is done out here. Son is in. Sonaldo. He's in the team, and it's Pulisic out. Wow! What a last minute!
Why you just don't put Liverpool players in here? Put Liverpool players in here. No.
He's not even playing the game, Monsieur Ahmed, and he has just come up and killed it.
Right,
Werner and Aubameyang, they are in.
Aubameyang!
Oh, wow. And look at this. Martinez, who put Carl Walker in there, 100% save. Wow. The last minute has been amazing.
Oh, there's more.
Has been amazing.
Please put Salah. At least just get Salah in there. Oh.
Who's filming?
That's for Marcus Rashford. He's so safe. It's unbelievable. Oh, wow.
Oh, this is going crazy.
Show. Absolutely incredible. 30 seconds to go.
Come on, Chelsea boys.
Come on. One more. Please.
Come on, Chelsea boys.
Just to get Salah in there.
Come on.
Oh, but Salah needs a lot of money to get in there. To get in front of Martial, we need 25 pounds.
Aubameyang and Werner get in? Or Rashford?
No, he wants them to be extinct.
New category. We'll create that in a moment. Oh, we've got 10 seconds remaining.
Come on.
Someone
9.
Put something in.
8.
Come on.
7.
At least get Alisson or Salah in there.
5.
Come on.
4. 3. 2. 1. Oh my God!
Let's go!
Oh my God!
That's crazy!
Oh wow! Who? Oh no! Anthony Martial! They're coming just after the whistle.
No! You can't.
That's cheating. That's after the whistle. You can't do this.
Right. So on this. So who comes out? Rashford was secure by £25. Martial was secure.
It's more
by £20. So who comes out? It's got to be Martial. Yeah, it's 50. See, this is you can't do both because it's 15 on it. What Monster? You haven't got to put more money in, bro. Who comes out? Another £10 just come in for Salah, man. Another £10 just come in for Salah.
That outweighs it then, doesn't it? So
Salah's gonna go in. Salah's gonna go in. It's gonna be Martial that comes out of that team. Martial's coming out and Salah goes in. What a way to end the final stream of 2020.
Reece James and Ben Chilwell
stepped up and was like, boom. But you know what? That's a really good thing, you know. That's really. But have you noticed one thing? I can't believe you put Salah in. The fullbacks. Look at the fullbacks.
Wait. Monster asked me to decide.
Oh, hang on. Okay, so but somebody else put another 10 in for Salah. So Salah's got to go in.
Did.
Salah's got to go in, and Mane, Martial's on the lowest thing because somebody put another 10 in for Rashi. So that's what has to happen. I think.
Who's in goal?
Sorry, man.
In goal is Martinez.
Because someone said Carl Walker needs to go in goal. Do you remember?
I don't know. If they really want it, I'll do it. I haven't had time. I'll create the extinct thing now because I didn't have a chance before. Add row above. We've done that here. We'll change the color to that, and we'll put extinct in here. Additional extinct.
EXTINCT.
There we go. And we wanted. Who do we want in there?
Werner and Aubameyang.
Right.
I actually started celebrating. I thought he put them in the team.
No, I thought that as well.
Werner's not on this list here, but he goes in there in spirit. He goes into the extinct category in spirit. Monster come back again and says, Terry, Aubameyang and Werner is extinct for the whole season. Yeah. Wow, there we go. Look at that. Listen, everyone who's tuned in this evening, thank you very, very much. Liverpool fan, what a load of old. It's a load of, after we do it ourselves, it's a load of fun. It's a bit of fun for fans. It's a bit of fun for everybody to get involved with. What a show. I can't even tell all the super chats. I mean, this month as well, I want to say Monster Ahmed, Daniel the Chelsea fan, Red United, Zachariah. I've got to get these names up. Winter Surfer, of course, the original Zane, who's out there. Sonny S, Stu Boyle,
and Ndombele.
Original Base Annie, Jason Nile, Khalid, Sam Burton, Ndombele Season, just to name a few, have been some of our biggest contributors this month. And I can't tell you how important it is for us as a channel that you do that. It's amazing that you do it. Thank you. We won't now see you until 2021. It's going to be all the way until next year until you see us next. It's tomorrow morning, by the way. So we'll see you then. Everybody, enjoy your New Year's Eve wherever you are around the world. Please stay safe. Massive love to you and your family. Until then, people, take care of yourselves. Good night. God bless. And we'll see you.